Well, a cop murders a dude, gets convicted, but only gets 15 months in prison. If this was the other way around, that person would be in prison for life for killing a cop. But since it's a black person, it's nothing.
We're back with some breaking news. Former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter was released from prison this morning after serving 16 months for fatally shooting 20-year-old black motorist Dante Wright. Police said Wright had an expired license plate when they pulled him over in 2021. Officers said he then ran from them when they discovered he had an outstanding warrant. Potter said she accidentally pulled her handgun instead of her taser when she shot Wright.
Now, she would have known the difference between the taser and the handgun. She just using this as an excuse to kill a black person. She saw that he was running and was like, I'm gonna kill him.
Last year, she was found guilty of first and second-degree manslaughter for fatally shooting Wright. Potter was sentenced to 2 years in prison. NBC News correspondent.
Wow, 16 months in prison and 6 months supervised probation. That's is that the life of a black man nowadays?
Jesse Kirsch joins us now from Chicago with the details. Jesse, nice to see you. Good morning. What more can you tell us about Potter's release, and what happens to her now that she's out?
Yeah, good to be with you, Steph. So we got these details just a short time ago. We know now that Kim Potter was released at 4 a.m. Central Time. That's 5 a.m. Eastern. And we're told that during her supervised release, she will be spending that time in Wisconsin. Remember, obviously this occurred and the trial was in Minnesota, but she's going to be spending that supervised release in Wisconsin. We're told she has to report where she's living, what she's doing. She can have unannounced visits from officials. She can be drug and alcohol tested, and she cannot possess a firearm. She cannot have a gun. They say she can't even be in the presence of a gun. That's what we got from the State Department of Corrections.
But after 6 months, she's just gonna go back to being a cop. Like, WTF, she should be on probation for life.
A short time ago. And again, obviously this is a fluid situation. We were waiting to find out when she would be released. We knew it was expected today. We weren't given a specific time because of safety concerns, and we now know that she has been released according to the state.
You know, Wright's death sparked days of protest in 2021. Were there any concerns over Potter's safety when she was released this morning?
Absolutely, and that's part of the reason why officials say they did not give us a specific time ahead of time. Also, obviously, she was released very early in the morning. Officials say that is because they were doing that for her safety as well as the safety of people at the prison. And officials have made a point of saying that they had intelligence analysts that were reviewing material, trying to keep an eye on the situation in the run-up to this release. And they say that there was concern. They came across threatening comments against Potter, and there were concerns about violent protests being held outside of the prison where she was being held. So there was concern over that, and they took that into account when they made this decision.
It's pretty messed up how, cops can murder people, and even if they're convicted, sometimes they get such a short time in prison. Like, does it even matter? Like, not really. So like, she honestly should still be in prison for murdering a person. She shouldn't have only gotten 16 months. That's messed up. His life was worth more than just 16 months.
Let's talk about Wright's family. How did they respond back when Potter was sentenced? Was it enough for them? And have we heard from them at all about her being let go?
Yeah, so first of all, the family, when the sentence was announced, was not happy with that decision. And the other piece of this is, even though she was sentenced to one thing, she's serving even less than what her actual sentence was, because in Minnesota, as officials explained it to us, people serve 2/3 of their sentence in prison. The last third is on supervised release. There's no parole board. There's no time off given for good behavior, we're told. So whatever she got, she was only going to serve 2/3 of that. That said, the sentence handed down was something that the family of Dante Wright was not pleased with. Here's part of what we've heard from his brother, for example.
Words from my parents is basically saying that they just feel so hurt and overwhelmed with what was going on. We felt more of a slap in the face than anything. We feel like there should have been more time handed out to Kim Potter in this case. nothing that we can do can change the fact that, you know, Kim Potter murdered our brother.
And again, Steph, at this point, she has been released from prison and served less than what she was actually sentenced because of the rules in the state of Minnesota, Steph.
All right, Jesse, thank you for staying on.